So Dan, in your book, Self-Help Jesus, you shared many personal stories, and I love them all. What was one of the standout stories and the important lesson that it taught you?
Well, one of the stories that comes to mind is a story about a time that I was at a state park on the Oregon coast in the Pacific Northwest. And it was a place where some early explorers had set up a campsite for the winter. Actually, the first Eastern Americans that came out west to map and explore this new country. The fort was a reproduction, of course, of the fort, but in one little cabin that was on the property, I walked into a room that was small and dark and heard water running. And there was an artesian well that had been tapped into. An artesian well is water that just, a spring that comes out of the ground and is a good source of good drinking water. That water was flowing out of this hole basically in the side of the hill and was flowing into a bowl, a stone bowl, and overflowing and then going on its way in a little, kind of a little creek. I'd seen a phrase saying, "I am a cup always filling and always emptying." And I thought, how can that be? I realized when I saw that artesian well, that artesian spring, that water was flowing into the bowl and overflowing the bowl and flowing out. The bowl was full, but it was constantly emptying. And that opened an understanding to me of something in my own heart, that I could see myself as the vessel, as the bowl, the spirit of infinite intelligence, the water of life that was flowing into me and overflowing out to others. And that raised my level of understanding that day to a place that really, even today, it touches me to think about that concept. And we all have that opportunity to be a vessel, always filling and always emptying. And it can happen simultaneously, that spirit of God, the spirit of love, the characteristics of God, like forgiveness and love and patience and understanding, imagination and creativity, are all ours. We think of them as human characteristics, but they're also the characteristics of infinite intelligence of God, because we are children of infinite intelligence.
I love that story, Dan. I can picture it right now. I love it. And the one thing that I love, Dan, is the clear examples, the pictures that you put in people's minds that allow them to understand in a way that there's no doubt.
That's the whole point of any of the stories that are really meaningful, are stories that you can understand at a very simple level, but they carry deep truth and raise your level of understanding about yourself and your journey in life.
Thanks for being with us today. My goal is to give you value with every lesson. If you would like us to notify you every time a new lesson is ready, click subscribe below, then turn on notification. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks.